bad news. It's a beat your home, nigga. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about it anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a sock, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like the dark. Any problem, let them go. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harvey. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking over. Call them up like set the day. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house show. Don't make excuses. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the counting, when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. You can't do with them steps, them niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
I'ma show them it's a different. I'ma only say this once, you better listen. When West is where it started, so you know that's where it finished. We got one main objective, nigga, let's complete the mission. We explaining what the who, lead them bitches in they feelings. Snub on me, only time I put my nose inside your business. I don't want my gun to show, so I wear my shirt bigger. This is our world, cause if this was your world, I'd be the villain. Break his whole block down, all I gotta do is spin and stuff in Mac shell drums. Turn your crib to Sunday dinner. You don't live here, you visit, this my shit, it's a different. I don't do lean, Lobos in my cup is what I'm sipping. I don't do dreams, I just say a prayer, go and get it. And it all work out, you know this ain't for play, this ain't for fun. I've been destined for this shit, niggas know that I'm the one. This shit can go 100 yards, you would think I kicked a punt. You would think I had a flare gun on go, you niggas run. They like he an Israelite, all he rap about is guns. Bitch, I'm an Israelite that own a lot of guns. What that nigga said who? Tell him watch the grind. Yeah, you must be crazy if you ever think of stopping mine. Knock all of the chains out you niggas, make them drop a dime. This Taurus hold 12, it is not a zodiac sign. Piss me off, get me in my bag, make me drop a bomb, drop a nuke, make the world freeze. I can stop the time. Watch what you do, cause once you do it, you can't press rewind. On purpose, I do the opposite, so nigga cross the line. This is different. I ain't looking for trouble, but on point, case you think I rap. Turn him to a vegetable. Lead this nigga cabbage patch. No new niggas with me. If you see him, then they got my back. Got it out the mud, big stepping. You can see the tracks. Follow me. I can teach you something. Have a seat, relax. If you gonna speak on anything, just make sure it's fact. It's a difference. We are not the same. Help them notice that. Pay attention. Watch how we move. We can know we can. Hang around all real niggas, then we move as one. This ain't Fortnite. Get into it, ain't no 1v1. The smoke I bring to you, you can't take it in with your lung. Life about warfare, we just make it look fun. She asked what kind of oil I got on, I told her give them some. When West the only real niggas left, you better get you one. Chicken shop, giving out wings if I pull a drum. It's a difference, you better watch your words before you eat your tongue. Scrape the whole plate, not a trace nor leave a crumb. Ice falling off the watch and chain like it's freezer burn. Daring somebody to say my name, I will eat for him. Loyalty means everything, so I don't eat with them.
all jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on West for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind field. Hey, they said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pal. But ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death to us part. Look. So how you feel about this truth I done show you? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's sold out on. The photo, salute my nigga, salute my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she leave me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done show? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look.
City eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times soon. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fence taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad. Telling me how them crackers turn this childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel it now, let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see profits under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I want it black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence,
All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, where we teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true chosen people of God, the Israelites, as written in the Bible, man, from Genesis to Revelations. Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives are God's people, and there's nothing else to it. I would say to you, if you believe in a black Jesus Christ, well, why do you believe that these people in the land of Israel are God's people? How does that work? How does your Lord and Savior go from being a dark-skinned man with an afro to these lily people over in the Middle East today who stole that land? Tonight's lesson, this is the Wednesday night law class. Tonight's lesson is you celebrate one genocide, but condemn another. Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives across the board are about to celebrate Thanksgiving. I didn't know. I came out here around a year ago, right? This is ISUPK, Arizona. I came out here a year ago and I really started chopping it up with natives. You got Navajo Nation about an hour north of the city of Phoenix. And I being here and working around natives and having the opportunity to really talk to them, I'm talking about them, learning what their culture is today, living, getting to know them. And as Thanksgiving approaches, Caucasians, white people are talking about what they're gonna do for Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm going back home. I'm gonna go see my girl. Other nations talking about what they're gonna do for Thanksgiving. And to my utter surprise, I hear natives talking about going back to the reservation to go eat a big dinner with their family for Thanksgiving. I would rather starve. In fact, we do starve on Thanksgiving in the ISUPK. We purposely do not eat any large meals or anything disrespectful to our Native American brothers, because we understand the genocide that was executed upon them. We recognize it. We have utter hatred and disdain for it, and we would never, ever, ever celebrate their genocide, which is what Thanksgiving is. It is a celebration of a genocide. It is a party after a murderous raid, a pillaging horde coming into your land, destroying your village, assaulting your daughters, beheading your men, and then they threw a party with the spoils. That is Thanksgiving.
Right.
We don't celebrate in the ISUPK. We don't celebrate that. It was to my surprise to find out last year that natives celebrated even. And that is what slaves do. Slaves celebrate their own beatings. Slaves get whipped and say, don't say that against Master. If you do that against Master, he going to get mad. You're going to make him uncomfortable. You're going to make him uncomfortable. I don't give a damn about a Caucasian's comfortability, man, at all. If you're going to turn your back on your own forefathers to make an oppressor comfortable, to make him comfortable, he beheaded your fathers. He assaulted your sisters, kidnapped your sons and daughters. But now, hundreds of years later, 50 years later, 100 years later, you're gonna go celebrate his victory over you. You are a slave, man. Can I get Jeremiah? I'm gonna need Jeremiah 4:1 or 2:14. Salaki.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
This is Jeremiah asking a question. Why are we acting like this, man? Why are we acting like this? Are we nothing more than servants, slaves? You know what, Navajos, if I didn't know if I didn't know no Mexicans, I would say that Native Americans are some of the most hardworking people on planet Earth. That's what I would say. Just because you have that ability, does that mean you're gonna give it to your oppressor? They work hard. They come in early and stay late. They overachieve, and then they talk down on anybody who doesn't work as hard as them. You know what I mean? That's how I know a lot of natives to work. Read it again.
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
But is that all you're useful for? You can't even love your own ancestors. You can't love your own people. God damn, you see blacks over here weeping over these Palestinians. And that is the subject of this class. You're about to cook a turkey. The biggest turkey you could find. You're about to cook the fattest, ripest turkey you can find. Get your whole family involved. All the side dishes, everybody got to bring a dish. Everybody got to cook something. Everybody has to celebrate the slaughter of the Native American Indians. But if I'm on Twitter and I say I don't give a damn about a Palestinian, now I'm the bad guy.
Right.
I'm the bad guy. You don't give a damn about your own people. I'm looking at you crazy. How dare you? How dare you, man? You're over here weeping and crying and shedding tears over Palestinians, man. Mostly these black women, mostly these black women. They're the loudest, so I'm gonna say mostly y'all. Y'all are weeping and crying over them. Y'all don't weep and cry over your own men. You don't weep and cry over your own children. The crying about Palestinian children being bombed to death. You should consider that an abortion. Don't y'all fight for the ability to murder babies, men and women alike? Let's just keep that same energy is all I'm saying. You got to keep the same energy. You are a hypocrite and a virtue signaler if you celebrate Thanksgiving and condemn the genocide of these Palestinians. And I must say that the ISUPK does not condone the genocide of the Palestinians by the hand of these Israelis, man. These Jewish people. We don't condone that at all. But we're not hypocrites. We're not gonna celebrate another people's genocide either. We're not gonna toast except for the Passover. But that wasn't really a genocide, was it? That was only a generation. That's God's will. But the point being is we're not hypocrites, man. And those people earned that judgment from God's hand himself because of what they did to us. What they did to blacks and Hispanics, slaughtered our babies as they were being born, threw them into the Nile, it threw them into the river to be eaten by alligators. And that's exactly what they mirrored here in America. You know what I'm saying? But all that said, we do not condone any people's genocide. Egyptians, they did their little thing. Well, why we celebrate Passover is because we are celebrating our liberation, right, our freedom, the breaking of our bonds, God's justice. We are celebrating the day that God gave us justice. God saved us. God delivered us with his own hand. And no one can say that we dropped bombs on hospitals. Nobody could say in the day that the children of Israel came out of Egypt, nobody could say that we were blowing up schools and apartment buildings with non-combatants. No one could say that. Only person you could blame in that day is God. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot different. Now, these Israelis would like to say that they have God with them, and that's why they have that ability. But that's not how God does it. That's not how God does it at all. He makes it very known that it's him. a mortar strike that you got from that says "Made in the USA" on it does not constitute God. You know what I'm saying? So like it, priest. Let's drop that. Unless you think you got some more on it. Let me get. Yeah, go ahead.
Why is he spoiled? The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant.
That is, yeah. Go ahead,
What you're
priest.
talking about with the Native Americans, like what's being asked here is a good question. It's a good question. Is he a homeborn slave? And we can apply this to the so-called Native American Indians of the tribe of Gad, the Seminole Indians, and the Issacharites, because the other nations came and spoiled their land.
Right.
And they continued to serve them and look at them like they was God. These other nations came and they raped their women, abused their women, infected their babies with their entire families with sheets that were infested with smallpox. But still, for whatever reason, they find occasion to worship their gods and celebrate their victory over them. Like what you said was heavy.
Right.
Right.
No, that's heavy. And that precept is so on point. Jeremiah is speaking to our condition even today, thousands of years later, asking, why are we spoiled? Why are we their reward? Why are we acting now that they already whooped us in battle? Now we gotta be Salakia bitches. We gotta be a bitch too. I would have you stand up. I would have you stand up, Black, Hispanic, and Native American. I would have you stand on your toes and never, ever. You know what the natives did? The natives refused to eat. When they were made to do servile slave work, a lot of those natives starved to death. They died. They sat in a meditative state, were beaten and flogged. They didn't move, they didn't budge, they didn't yell, they didn't cry out, and they just died because they said death is better than being your footstool. Death is better than being your little runner boy, your servant, your slave. After what I saw you did to my family, I would never. And you shouldn't. And we should all feel that way. If we love our families, if we love our fathers, like we say we do. So like it. Let me see. Let's drop that. Let me get Exodus 14 and 9. Blacks, Hispanics, and natives, you're gonna have to forget these Palestinians. You can't. I don't want to hear you crying on Instagram about no goddamn Palestinian. Did you know Palestinians are racist against black people? Did you know that? Before this thing in Palestine happened, Parak, I was in the optometrist's office. Whoever takes your prescription for glasses. These glasses in particular. I was in her office. She saw my Shield of David, my Magun Dawadah. She said, "Oh, are you Jewish?" I said, "No, not really. I'm an Israelite. This and that." And she was like, "Okay. Well, I'm from Palestine, this and that." I was like, "Oh, you know what the first thing I said was? I said, what's happening to your people is terrible. You know what I mean? And, black people understand it because we come from a predicament that is similar." You know what the first thing she said after that? She said, "What we go through is worse." She had the nerve to propose to a black man living in America that what Palestinians go through is worse. As if black people, after suffering hundreds of years of abject slavery, racial discrimination, racial abuse, lynchings, murders, deaths, and oppressions, and even till today, poverty stricken systematically. That Palestinians have had it worse because they've been going through it for about 60 years. This Palestinian woman had the nerve to say that to me, a black man, in my face. And you want to know why they could do that? It's because they don't like you. Go ahead, priest.
And she did that after you attempted to show her compassion. That's what makes it worse.
Yeah, that's
you
the.
attempted to show her like, damn, what them people is doing to you is terrible.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's like it's jammed up.
She went on to say,
she used that to step on me.
Right.
Yeah. Salagia. Yeah, she used that opportunity to step on me and say, no, you don't have it as bad as I do. She Karen me. She Karen me, which just shows you what they believe, man. Go ahead.
It's like walking up to somebody and saying, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. Let's say their dad died or their son died or whatever. I'm sorry for your loss. And they say, yeah, well, my son dying is worse than your grandmama dying. Like,
damn, nigga. Like,
right. That's their mentality.
Right. That is the mentality. It's like, you can't, it's like they want me to feel worse than I already do for them. Like, damn, that leads back to that Jeremiah precept. You want me to be your slave. I gotta chill. You want me to be a slave. You need black people. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to Palestinians. Palestinians are a violent and cruel people because even after all this compassion we show them, they still attack us. They still berate us. They still demean us. Palestinians call black people the N-word, R-E-R, just like your regular oppressors do. But now, because you're so kind, black people are so kind, Hispanics are so kind, natives are so kind, we're over here fighting and crying and pleading that their oppression stop when they don't even care about your oppression. A Palestinian does not care about the predicament or the situation of blacks or Hispanics. Yeah, go ahead. They do not care. But you care about theirs. And that's something you got to realize. Why are you celebrating your own oppression but condemning someone else's? You're going to have to, before, I don't know who told me this. I don't know where I heard this from, but somebody once said, before you love anybody else, you must first understand and love yourself. And black people don't have that yet. Black people don't have that. That's what we're giving here in the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We're giving understanding of self. We're teaching you how to love yourself truly. You know what I mean? Not facetiously, not fakely, not externally, not carnally, but truly love yourself and your actions and your deeds. What you do, man. What you do matters. Who you sit down and eat with matters. What you eat for matters. What you pray for matters. Who you pray to, it all matters. But we've been taught lies, and now we believe differently, man. We believe differently. Let me get another precept. This is Exodus chapter 14, verse 9. The Egyptians, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots, horsemen and troops, pursued the Israelites and overtook them as they camped by the sea near Phi Hahiroth, opposite Baal Zephon. Look, this is what Pharaoh did right after the children of Israel were set free by God's hands. Right after the children of Israel were set free after those 10 plagues, and they were moving out into the wilderness, Pharaoh wept and he mourned his firstborn son. And then he thought to himself, why should I have to suffer this by the hands of people he thought are slaves? Even though him and his entire empire suffered plagues of bloody rivers, frogs and locusts and boils and all the way up to where it led into, their children dying. God trying to teach them a lesson slow and, the hard way, because he wouldn't learn. Suffering all that, he still thought, well, no matter what, these slaves can't win. No matter what, these slaves can't. And that's my point. You care about somebody who hates you. You care about somebody who wouldn't give a damn about you. If they were in the position, if a Palestinian was in charge of you instead of an oppressor, and if it wasn't Joe Biden, but some Palestinian over you, you'd be in the same state, if not worse. Probably about the same, in my opinion. You'd be in this exact same state because they think the same of you. They think the same of us. Let me read on. So Pharaoh is after all those plagues, Pharaoh is hunting with his army, his entire army, coming after the children of Israel. Verse 10. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians marching after them. They were terrified and cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt?" And I'm reading this scripture to paint to you the mentality of blacks and Hispanics during this time. During a time where God showed nothing but his utmost strength. God showed nothing less than his power, to save, to liberate, to free us. You know what we did? As soon as we saw our oppressor coming down at us with a face to kill us, we complained at the man who helped liberate us, the man who God ordained to free us. We said to Moses, what did you bring us out to the wilderness to die? You came here, you set us up. We should have just stayed slaves. That's what we said, man. That's what we said. And that is the spirit that we have today. You would rather be servants than masters. You would rather be you'd rather be consumers than suppliers, than sellers. That's what we'd rather be. You're going to need a mental washing, a mental evaluation first. You're gonna need to realize what's in your mind. What do you really love and why? What do you really dislike and why? That why is what's very important. You know what I mean? You're gonna need to realize these things. Black women not loving their black men, and love isn't a feeling. Love is an action. Love is when you don't, I don't know, what is it? Sleep with his friends, have sex with his friends, have sex behind his back with men, with any other man. Talk down on black men in general. A lot of you sisters got a mental y'all are jammed up. This is not funny. But a lot of women hate men without reason. The reason part is what you're gonna have to hook into. There is no reason for you to hate a black man just because. There's no reason. Just like in the same I feel about if a black man would hate a black woman for no reason, which I have never seen. You're gonna have to get that mind state evaluated and wonder why you feel that way. Wonder why you believe these things. Wonder why you would prefer another race. Wonder why you would prefer an oppressor, blacks, Hispanics, and natives, man or woman. Wonder why you're these things and fix these things. Wonder why you're celebrating Thanksgiving. Why are you doing it? Oh, because the family is, we do it because the family. We all get the same day off on the exact same day. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? What if they gave you 9/11 off. You're gonna have a big dinner that day. What if they gave you, you know, a Holocaust day off? Hey, you know, today we stop and commemorate what Hitler did to the Jews, the Jewish people. Are you gonna have a big old dinner and have your whole family over and make sure they all bring dishes and we all laugh and drink and have fun? Is that what you're gonna do for that day? No, you're not. You're not gonna do that because you love them. You hate yourself. You hate your goddamn self. And that is what that is what we would call toxicity. That's toxic. That is a toxic love where you can't love yourself, but you give all your energy and compassion to someone else. It's also called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome, where you're hyper observant to your captive and disregard the state that you're actually in. Let me get the rest of this. Okay, what have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? That's what is. This is in verse 11. Exodus 14 and 11. We're complaining about being brought out of captivity. So let me get the top of 11. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you what have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt?" Basically saying there's nothing good being out here. You see Pharaoh's armies, we about to die, as if they didn't see all the firstborn in Egypt die literally that morning or earlier that in that week or whatever the time span is here. It's like you. As if they hadn't seen the miracles, seen the curses and the plagues that God sent on the wicked nation that ruled over them. Still, and that, you know, this is some Martin Luther King type stuff. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's a Martin Luther King kiss and hug my oppressor, forgive my oppressor, love my oppressor, coexist with my oppressor. Talk. Coming all the way from Exodus, recorded in the Bible. All right. So I get verse 12. Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone? Let us serve the Egyptians. I don't know if that's hidden. I do not know if that's hidden. I'm going to read it again. Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone? Let us serve the Egyptians. We wanted to be slaves. We didn't want to cause a fuss. We didn't want to make our oppressors uncomfortable. Just like today. And just like back then, I'm going to tell you something. The Lord, God in heaven, is going to get us out of this predicament again, regardless of how some of our people might feel. Regardless of how some of our people might believe that America is going to last forever. And this is going to go on forever. And the only way to get out of it is voting and crying and protesting. No, the way this is going to end is by God's hand. Just like how Egypt ended.
Right.
Just how like Rome ended. Just how all these empires end. It's about God's orchestration. But this one's gonna end in a blaze, quite literally, a thermonuclear blaze. That's how America is gonna end. Let me read that again. Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone, let us serve the Egyptians? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert. That's what we said to Moses. All you Christians, where are you Christians at, man? All you Christians are very quiet about this Israeli-Palestine conflict. You know what they always tell us, right? They always tell us in the ISUPK, y'all need to forgive the oppressed. Y'all need to forgive the white man. Y'all need to forgive the Caucasian man. Forgive them for what they've done. Y'all taught my native brothers that. Y'all taught my Hispanic brothers that. But that's a load of bullshit. Forgive. Why don't y'all say that to those Israelis? Y'all need to forgive the Palestinians. Why don't those Israelis believe in that? Y'all say that that's what Jesus Christ taught, right? Those Israelis hate Jesus Christ, but yet y'all support them. You know what I mean? I remember being in Sunday school talking to my Christian pastor, and he's like, you know, the reason these are some faint memories I have. I had to be about 10 or less. He said, yeah, the reason America's doing so well is because they support Israel. So God's on their side. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell is Israel? What is Israel? He's like, yo, that's God's people. Da-da-da-da. This memory's going in and out. I'm like, and in my mind, I think, as time goes by and I live and I learn life, I'm like, these people that my little Sunday school teacher told me about hate Jesus. The God that they believe in, the God that they worship, these people hate him. And they're saying that God is with them because they side with this people who hate their God. What kind of God do Christians worship, man? What kind of God do you Catholics and you Christians worship? That if you support the people who hate your God, then your God is with them and you. How ignorant can you be? How ignorant and foolish can you be, man? That is not the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is hardcore. After these complaining Israelites he brought them out of the land of Egypt, the land of their captivity, the land of their slavery. And those complaining Israelites complained and complained on and on. You know what he did to them, right? He never brought them into the promised land, and he made sure that they died off. Some of them didn't die of old age. Some of them died from bursting, from eating. Some of them died from earthquakes, chasms opening up in the earth. Some of them died from that's another one. There are a lot of colorful plagues, venomous snakes. Some of them died from other Israelites giving the order to kill them. Slicer, you got something? All right. That's what the God that is in the Bible says. That's how the God in the Bible rolls, man. He's not this weird imagination you have. And that weird imagination has led us down a rabbit hole of tomfoolery, of ridiculousness that is created what we see today. Created the disarray in the black community that we have today. You know what I'm saying? The black and brown community. Let me pull some more precepts. Dying in the desert. And of course, after that, Moses told the people, don't be afraid. Your deliverance is coming. And this is all just to prove a point that if you ever loved that oppressor, know that he did not love you. The only person you can rely on is God. And then God split the Red Sea and made it crash on all those Egyptians, Pharaoh and his armies. That's a crazy one. Imagine the president being taken out by the Lord because of how he feels about you. His love towards you, God's love towards us. but you would rather love your captor. You'd rather love your oppressor. I'd rather die. I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm gonna get this post or this article from the Washington's Post. It's titled, "This Tribe Helped the Pilgrims Survive for Their First Thanksgiving. They Still Regret It 400 Years Later." All right. Plymouth, Massachusetts, overlooking the chilly waters of Plymouth Bay, about 3 dozen tourists swarmed a park ranger as he recounted the history of Plymouth Rock, the famous symbol of the arrival of pilgrims here 4 centuries ago. Nearby, others awaited to tour a replica of the Mayflower, the ship that carried pilgrims across the ocean. You know what I mean? Long marginalized and misrepresented in the American story, the Wampanoags are braced for what's coming this month as the country marks the 400th anniversary of the first Thanksgiving between Pilgrims and Indians. But the actual history of what happened in the 1621 bears little resemblance. It bears little resemblance to what most Americans are taught in grade school. Historians say there was likely no turkey served. There were no feather headdresses worn, and initially there was no effort by the pilgrims to invite the Wampanoags to the feast they'd made possible. Just as Native American activists have demanded the removal of Christopher Columbus statues and pushed to transform the Columbus holiday into acknowledgement of his brutality towards indigenous people, they have long objected to the popular portrayal of Thanksgiving. See, what you think Thanksgiving is because your slave master lied to you. You think that Thanksgiving is when the pilgrims and the Indians came together and had one big feast because those pilgrims came off their boat innocent and white and needing help, and those nice natives came and fed them and taught them how to live on the land. And then the pilgrims thanked them and had dinner together and happily ever after. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. And that lie is told so you don't acknowledge the genocide of the Native American Indians. You haven't met a Native American Indian. I was 20, I met natives. But I can't say, I could say I met more before this year or last year. I could say I met more Chinese people than natives. Do you know what that means? That means that somebody whose native land is over 3,000 or 4,000 miles away. I've met more of them than people who are from here. And that is because there was a genocide. That is because the people who are from here were slaughtered, were made less than human and slayed. That's what that means. You wonder why you've never met a Native American? Look at Joe Biden and know why. The ones that they didn't kill, they crammed into reservations. Called it a day. Called it. You know Hitler got his tactics from America, right? I can't do this all night. You know what I mean? I can't go on forever. What time? That ain't too bad. But that is the truth, man. That is the truth. And I would say this. I'm gonna close out with this, man. if you find yourself cutting into a turkey next week, praying to some white Jesus in your mind about, saving Palestinians, having a good Christmas, all your dreams and your aspirations come true, just know that you're not praying to God. You're praying to Pharaoh. You're praying to your slave master's God, which is in essence the devil and Satan. With that, I'm gonna close out the class. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. If you're in the Phoenix area, you need to Google ISUPK. That's as easy. It can't get any easier than that. Google ISUPK, come down for class, call the numbers, like the Facebooks, like the videos, follow the pages, subscribe, do all the things you need to do, because this world is about to end. And just like how, if you wasn't on that boat with Noah, you didn't make it, that's what it's going to be like here. Because you can't outrun nuclear blasts. I don't know if anybody told you that. Only thing you can do is get right with God, who can save you. You know what I mean? And that starts with coming into the school, getting your life together, XYZ. Pay your tithes, come to the Passover. All right, with that, shalom.